when I was a kid, in the junior high school near me that my sister attended, a plane crashed during school, and one Catholic and one Protestant and one Jew each were killed. And for the Jewish community, this was a cause for celebration, because we're equal. We're equal to the Catholics and the Protestants. Jews were almost the founders of interfaith work in this country, obviously as a small minority, needing to locate itself in the large Christian majority, and suffering in World War II from the sense that they had not effectively engaged the Christian community. This work began in the 50s. When I entered it, there had actually been a diminution of commitment to interfaith work because in interethnic work, great disappointment from the Jewish community in the African American community. Why weren't they more pro-Israel? Why weren't they more pro-Jewish? Why did they take seriously the fact that they had Jewish landlords and Jewish shopkeepers? Also, the Christians were seen, particularly the mainstream Christians, the Episcopalians and Methodists and Lutherans and Presbyterians, United Church of Christ, and within the Catholic Church were seen as not supporting Israel. And as the Jewish community became more and more committed to Israel, right or wrong, it meant that they wanted absolute fealty from the Christians, and they weren't getting it. So when I entered the field, I was actually surprised at what little relationship we had. And my work immediately was to build an interfaith coalition. And as opposed to ignoring the issues of Israel, which is where most of the conversation was, it was on theological disputations, I said, no, let's actually involve ourselves in what's happening, roll up our sleeves, and see ways that we can work together on Middle East peace, work together on immigration reform, work together on sustainable food economic justice, and vulnerable populations. In this, it was very interesting. What I learned was that the Middle East international political folk of the churches did not talk to the interfaith folk. They didn't know each other. In some cases, I brought them together for the first time. And we created a remarkable coalition, both involving Jewish institutions. I must say, many of them had to be dragged in to be part of it because they were angry, understandably. And we had to drag in some of the Christians who were angry as well. And for a number of years, we created a coalition that was able to have impact directly, if not on peace in the Middle East, at least directly on our relations here, and on creating a community of religious leaders committed to peace, committed to immigration reform, committed to worker rights justice, areas that we could share. We even brought a group of religious leaders to the Middle East, to Israel, to Ramallah, to meet with Palestinian and Jewish and Israeli leaders. We also had a remarkable event on the Arizona border of leading Christian leaders, Jewish leaders, Catholic leaders coming together to call for immigration reform. And it really was a reminder that you can mobilize people to do good and to get them to overcome the reasons they don't want to really don't want to join, to overcome that if you can focus them on a common good and on a greater good.